Hey guys, we're here today to do a twin flame reading. This is divinely guided. There's a lot of different new energies in the air. There's a lot of shifts that are happening. A lot of twins. I'm getting felt a huge relief almost with the Lionsgate changing and or coming through the Lionsgate portal. And so there's a lot of new energies. I feel a lot of relief, and I'm going to do a twin flame reading. This is divinely guided. The way I do a lot of my readings is um, that I will meditate guided towards a twin flame question or clarification regarding the twin flame union, but sometimes different angels or guides will guide us to do readings in different, uh, different directions depending on what the collective needs to hear. So, with that being said, divine angels, beings, higher of 5D and above, source, God, what is the twin flame union connection? What energies do we need to be clear about? The purposes of these readings is to be more in line with what is happening and to really be attuned to the energy so that we may be productive in this time and that we may focus investing ourselves and go towards union with our divine masculine or feminine, whatever resonates. So I'm going to go ahead and get a draw a card for the overall tone of the connection. I'm getting guided to pull from this deck. So let's see. Divine Lord guides five D and above. What is the twin flame connection? What is happening right now? What is the energy surrounding the twin flames? Anything you can let us know about the twin flame connection? And so we got that it's time to release negativity. And so this is a new cycle. We just went through the Lionsgate portal. It's a lot of, like I said, I started off this reading saying that a lot of divine masculines and feminines will feel a lot more lighter. Some of them that are in their alignment. It's almost like letting go of a lot of these past energies. And so we got the end of the cycle approaches. And so uh, that's almost the theme of this reading obviously now it is that a lot of the healing that needed to happen purge a lot of the divine feminines or masculines whatever resonates. They've really spent the last couple of weeks really purging, especially the last couple of days, a lot of these intense feelings and energies. I feel like a lot of the divine feminines have been really breaking down heading into this twin flame journey through the Lionsgate portal and have really been bubbling up. So I'm drawn to pull one more from this deck. And let's see. Expect a powerful change. So I'm getting that a lot of divine masculines are really going through it. A lot of them have been running. It's almost like they've been lost during the last few couple of days, weeks, especially. They've been out of contact, and a lot of the alignment that is coming through is for the divine masculine to come to realization that union really happens within self, and trying to control these three paradigms can. Um, Depending on the intention and the motive, can really get in the way of okay, so the hermit just came out. So it's exactly what we've been talking about. So the intention and motive for which they are in out of context is very, very important here because a lot of them are out of context because they're really purging and they're really reflecting on what their purpose is, what their alignment is. I'm getting that a lot of them are very clear, or most of them are very clear with who their twin flame is, and they're very clear with who with those who have karmics are very clear that the feeling towards a karmic is not the same as towards a twin flame, and they can't make it happen. They cannot transfer that energy just like that. So they're really reflecting on the best way I'm getting to communicate to, as the card that just flipped out, the Queen of Swords, and I'm getting that as we were speaking of the karmic, they're a little bit concerned of a lot of the truths that may come out. The Queen of Swords is obviously always ready to drop her truth and be in her power. So I'm getting that there's a lot of truth coming out, and there also is a lot of concern regarding what the karmics might be doing or what might come out. This is a time of truth. I am getting drawn to actually pull from this deck. And let's see here. So, what is the concern? What truths are they concerned coming out that the karmics might release, or what is your overall concern regarding the uh, uh, karmics? So, what I'm getting here is they do realize that it is a soul connection, and we had just kind of said that there's a lot of introspection going on. So this is the moon card. They realize that the connection to the twin is a soul connection. It is um, so I'm getting that a lot of the twins or their karmics, they do realize that the connection that they have with their divine feminine or masculine, whatever resonates, they're realizing that that connection is a soul connection, and the karmic now realizes that. So what they are concerned is because a lot of these twin flame unions, they're different. Uh, Genders or religions or backgrounds, they don't know that they're going to be accepted amongst their peers and really be in their ability to they're concerned as to what the world around them might think about themselves and the divine feminine. So they're concerned that the Queen of Swords, that a lot of this truth will come out, and inevitably we're in a time of truth. And so what I'm getting to with this card, this clarifier, is that a lot of the fortune that they've had in the past, it's obviously they're moving towards the divine. I'm getting drawn to pull one more. They're moving towards an increase in energy for a lot of the divine feminines that have really been going through a lot of the purging the last couple of days. I think we've felt that and seen that there's a lot of divine feminines that are feeling a little lighter today here coming through Lionsgate. But what's happening is that a lot of the energy, that kind of energy, is intensifying for the divine masculine, and there's an increase in surge of energy. There's also like a little bit of a surge of anxiety for not exactly understanding what will transpire. The divine masculine is very much stuck in not in the headspace, but they're very concerned with being attuned to um, what the and this is exactly this. So this just comes to show. So they're very attuned to being very cerebral and understanding and trying to put their uh, consciousness or their mind behind trying to almost control the narrative, or having their level of perception guiding them, or trying to find clarity. They're not, a lot of them are not really understanding this. I mean, they're clear this divine union, but they're not necessarily uh, they're un, they're weary of the process and how that will actually take place, because they're not sure, they cannot predict it. It is bigger than them. And so to further clarify, we got Mercury in retrograde. So a lot of the reinvention, they're realizing that they need to do a lot of things different to move towards the divine feminine, and that is causing a lot of concern for them. A lot of they, especially like masculine energies, they like constant. And so a card just flipped out. These masculine energies really like what's constant, and what they can explain. And they realize that this twin flame union, they cannot explain. And there's a lot of things that need to be reworked and in alignment for them to move towards the union. And so reinventing isn't something that comes necessarily natural to these divine masculines. Is not something that it just comes to be. And so um the this card just flew. So the Emperor just flew out here the deck, and so what is very clear here, and I don't read reversals personally for the Patch Tarot. So they're realizing that as they work through this illusion. So this is the order, and this is kind of the story that that's building, is that they understand that a lot of what they've had here, and a lot of what needs to be reinvented, is a lot of the illusion that they've created, a lot of these 3D paradigms that no longer serve them. And so with that came out the Seven of Wands, and really having the courage to face a lot of those things here. So something that I'm very big on, that I've always said, anything that is not of truth is cowardice. So the courage to speak the truth, and as here's the inverted or the reverse of this card, is cowardice. So it's really finding the courage to speak their truth and understanding what that might entail here with the Queen of Swords. And but they do realize that once they speak their truth, they will in a sense be liberated from a lot of the concerns that um to a lot of the concerns that they have regarding the truth. And it's almost like let the truth set you free. Like I'm getting a lot of that energy of that, and that's the phrase that keeps coming to me. It's like let the truth set you free. And then once that happens, they can really have the all here in the embrace, and then abundance here with the Three of Cups, and the Ten of Cups came in thereafter, leading to the Emperor. So it's really they're realizing that it all lies on them being able to speak their truth and have the courage to be in their power and speak their truth here. Because one way or another, whether it is the divine, and I'm almost getting to readings here with the Queen of Swords, whether it is the that divine feminine that is going to be in her truth and in her power and speak her truth, or whether it is the karmic, the truth is going to come out. And that is something that they are meditative about, they are pondering on, because they do realize that once the truth come out, there's going to be a lot of reinvention, which is why this is a lot of their concern. However, here we can see that there's a lot of desire to become the emperor, and as you look at these cards, you see it very clearly that once the truth comes out and they look of the illusions that of abundance, prosperity, and the Ten of Cups here, they can have everything and become the emperor really comes to be. So, what is currently the tone of the karmic? I'm feeling guided to pull from this deck for the current energy of the karmic. I'm feeling like a lot of these karmics, like I said, they do know that the connection that they have with their divine feminine, they're very absent minded, and they're realizing that it's because you're thinking about someone else. So, what is currently the energy of the karmic? Or and sometimes karmic can be themselves, guys. A lot of times, especially for divine masculines, if you're divine feminine or resonate more with divine feminine, you'll realize that a lot of the karmics. Can be themselves, because the it's almost like the male energy has the burn of ego and it's heavy, and so a lot of times it's themselves. It's almost like somewhat of a narcissistic kind of a character or depiction of sometimes whenever the karmic can be themselves. So what is the current energy of the karmic? What is holding them back from speaking their truth? What is what's happening here with the karmic energies that are around them that they might have specific concerns to? So I got the Cancer card here, I feel. And so what I'm getting is that they're scared of their emotions still. So we haven't, and I'm also, what's coming to me is that these two cards, they have a lot of the same coloring and lighting. And that's really speaking to me that they're scared of how intensely they feel for their divine feminine. And they're still stuck in that flightiness of feeling. And I'm also getting that a lot of them really are feeling all of the energies and intensities of the divine feminine as well as their own. So it's almost like this whirlpool of energy that's sucking them in from themselves, and also the longing that a lot of the divine feminines have had for the union. They're feeling both accounts very intensely. You know, when you think about twin flames or divine union or just oneness in the 5D, you do realize that we're a part of everything. So they feel themselves, and they feel the intensity of the collective weighing in on them, and it's really concerning them, because they've been so. I'm getting that because they've been so cerebral for most of their life, that they don't know how to make sense of this, and they're really stuck in that energy of what to do with their feelings, because the twin flame union is triggering something within them that they're not used to feeling, and or experience it, period. And it's something that they can't even conceptualize, so they are frightened by their own feelings, the feeling of the feminine, and they're really just stuck in being able to how to make sense of it with the cerebral brain is what I'm getting. So what is currently, is there anything in the 3D world that's currently holding them back? Obviously we have the twin, the karmic here, but is there anything that is happening in their life that they're particularly concerned about? And so this card just flipped reversed. So what just flipped? So the the Three of Swords, the reverse six, or yeah, the reverse Six of Wands, and the King of Cups just flipped. So again, guys, this is about them being very, very stuck in their feelings and their emotions and not knowing what exactly to do with them. and it also follows the same coloring here that's really speaking to me. There, the heart chakra here is what's really in a lot of ways holding them back. They're very attuned to their 5D, to their mental state, but they're not very attuned to the heart chakra and to really opening up their heart. And so they're also particularly concerned of a reverse 6 of 1, 6 of 1. So what I'm getting here is that they're worried about failure, and they're concerned that they will fail their divine feminine and their environment, their worlds around them, and they will just be stuck with the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak, the sorrow of that failure, and that is currently the energy. But I'm also getting that they can work through a lot of this, especially with a lot of the divine feminines. Uh, a lot of the divine feminines that are uh, in their power, and I'm also getting that the feminists that are really in their power, they're concerned that they might be heartbroken. But I also feel like a lot of these feminists in our power can also do work within ourselves to release them of this worry here, because a lot of them are worried that their whole life, the 5 of Discs just came out, the whole world will fall apart, that they might lose their home, maybe that their kids, the custody. I'm getting that a lot of them are concerned at the financial ties they might have to their karmic, and that is something that's really holding them back. So it's as much it's the intensity of their feelings as much it is the implications that a lot of the truth that might come out might have on their world. If I'm with this, I'm also getting that it's almost like unnecessary worry. Like they're gonna be okay, but they don't necessarily realize that or know that. So they're just like an intense feeling and intense worry because there's intense energies around them. I'm getting that there's very intense energies, obviously for the collective, but also specifically hovering a lot of these divine masculines. And so what is this energy that is overwhelming? That is a tone, the underlying tone of the energy surrounding these divine masculines. And so they're very so we pulled out here the Angel of Night from Angelarium, and it really speaks to someone that is just so stuck in their head. They're so stuck in the 5D, and they're also concerned. um, they're as much concerned in the 3D as they are stuck with the satisfaction of the connection they've had in the 5D. So it's almost like a lot of them feel that they can almost at night while they're asleep levitate up and go towards their divine feminine and not have to do much of the work here below. And so what I'm getting is that uh, they really just uh, are so in their head about this connection. They're so in the 5D and they're almost so satisfied with the 5D connection that they haven't felt the need to come down to the 3D and into their power here with the divine feminine. But they are, that window is expiring, like that window of time where they can just really be in the 5D connection and have that be enough to carry them through emotionally and spiritually is not not working for them anymore. So these cards just okay. So a lot of these just came out. So we also got the Fool and the 6 of Discs. So they're definitely concerned with the success of the union, the success of themselves, and with the reverse Fool, there, like I said, that union, that 5D connection is really not serving them anymore. It's really not working for their union. It's not working. It's not enough. They really are craving that 3D connection here in the physical, but they have this energy of the Fool, of just um, really an ability to move. They're just so stuck in their head. And this came, as clarified with the 9 of Wands reversed. And so they really have to really be in their strength. I'm getting that there's a lot that the divine feminine can do almost in their inner work. So what can the divine feminine do in their inner work to help them come to push them through? Because we are a collective and so much can happen from day to day, especially with these twin flame unions. Time and space doesn't really exist the way we understand it. So the more work we can do within ourselves, the more clarity comes to them, because we are 2 halves of the same soul. We have an inverted connection. So So again, so this is it's a time for healing for a lot of the divine feminines, and especially coming into this new energy, it's really important to really focus on inner healing, and that is kind of the energy that's coming through here with the Lionsgate that also flow out here, and that's the theme of this deck when we first drew them is that there is that this is a time for healing and to really do our inner work and not let pride get in our way in our way here in this full moon in Leo. We cannot, what I'm getting here is that we cannot try to put our own, like, this is about divine timing and this and divine union. And us trying to put a stamp and a label on the divine timing is our own ego getting in the way. So much of what they have to heal is their heart space, and so much what we have to heal as a lot of divine feminists is like letting go of the control. So as a time for healing, I'm getting that. The reason we pull these cards is because the more we heal within, the more they heal too by the energetic resonance of the connection and the union. The more clarity comes to them. So, is there anything specific that we can do with working with the divine here, or source, or higher power to help us heal here for the overall union? So here we got the third eye chakra. So it's safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, as angels, auras, and visions. So again, this came out in context of what we can do to help them heal. So I'm getting that a lot of us, it's really time to be in the love state of being, almost like the 5D all the time. And I know that is difficult. We can't just be in that constant state, or it's difficult to always be in that state, but really when those times get hard, to really focus on connecting to the divine and being true to the connection and to who you want to be. And we also got the vegan vegetarian card, and so what I'm getting here is that a lot of alignment with all of our chakras. The fruits and vegetables are a lot of different colors. It's all the colors of the chakra, all the colors of the rainbow. So what I'm getting here is that a lot of the healing needs to happen in the sacral chakra and in the solar plexus, and to really eat and focus on healing those specific things, and eating a lot of the fruits and vegetables that can really stimulate that connection and that power within. So is there anything else that the karmic, so what is the intent of the karmic? What is it that they are, because I'm getting that a lot of karmics have given up, or they're realizing that they're not, that the twin flame union is not the they're not the divine feminine, but I'm getting that some of them want to mask it and are almost building a resentment. So three cards came out. So we got the solar eclipse here, and again, I think that's speaking to the divine, or the distorted feminine, or a lot of these karmics want to focus in the space of trying to be this as I am, this fire, this abundance, that it's really the divine feminine who is. And I'm also seeing that this is the number 44 here. So it is a solar eclipse. It is time for a revolution that is happening within their hearts, and the karmics are really trying to figure out how to reinvent themselves. They realize that this connection is not gonna happen, and they're almost starting to think about, well, what's next for them. Like, what are they gonna do in their life? They realize that holding on to this connection is eventually gonna lead to inevitable destruction and suffering. I'm also getting that all these three cards came out in a vibrant red color, so I'm getting a lot of the root chakra energy, and that they've been really trying to play a lot of the distorted feminine parts, and really playing into the distorted sexuality, distorted feminine energy, and that that is no longer serving them. And a lot of them were here with the union and speaking on truth here with Jupiter and abundance, and they were here because they had some sort of financial gain, but that's not really happening anymore. That's not that kind of financial gain. They're realizing, and that's kind of the truth that they want to tell here, is what I'm getting, is that that's not there for them anymore either. So there's almost like no point on holding on to the connection. I'm getting drawn to draw one more from this deck regarding what the feminine energy, or the energy of the karmic is, and what they're planning to do, or what they're thinking of might be the next move for them regarding the union, if they're still trying to hold on to them. This is a time of rebirth and really starting over. So here we got the angel of rain. So I'm feeling that there's a lot of crying that's been happening, a lot of introspection from the karmic or the distorted feminine, they're realizing that they're holding on to something that's just falling apart, is withering away. It's as much as their tears are, it's the love that maybe they once had is just no longer there. They're seeing here that he's very disconnected. The divine masculine is very disconnected, very flighty, very in their headspace, and they're just withering away and falling further and further down the emotional pit of understanding the connection is just not there anymore. So with that being said, it seems like I'm guided to pull one more regarding the healing energies that we can focus on from within the divine feminine. And so I'm being guided to pull from this deck and maybe read straight out of the book what the healing is. So divine source, what is the energy that divine feminine can focus on, or the viewer of this video, to heal within themselves, to really trigger a healing within their divine counterpart, and really work towards union for the collective, and for the self healing to transpire to by the energy of the twin flame connection to help their divine counterpart also do their own introspection and healing. What is the special attention we need to pay to? And so here we got the card of sexual arts. So I'm getting here, what you see is a divine masculine holding on to this feminine that is almost floating away, very much in their heart space. And why I said that, because it's in the 5D. There, he is by her heart, and she is floating. She is the energy coming from above to really help them. And like I said, even the question was, what can we do to help our divine masculines rise to their power and their energy? And this is very much, part of the self healing is to come to union with ourselves and to be in our power, so that divine masculine has something to hold on to. I'm getting that we are, as twin flames, we're the same soul in a different body. So we need to welcome them into our hearts. Our body is their temple. Our heart space is their heart space. So we need to be cleared and purified within ourselves to let them come in. And we need to really come from the place of the higher healing, the higher power, and being in tune with the divine and doing our own inner work. And then the divine masculine will find his way to do so. This card almost entirely depicts the energy of the intent of even pulling this card, which is, what can we do to help them rise to union? And it's really about being in our power and being in our heart space and doing that inner healing and inner work within ourselves. I'm also seeing that he's holding her by the heart, but also the solar plexus, and just this general midsection energy of the divine feminine, and really working on healing as above so below. This union, as you can see here, is coming from above and into here, this realm. It is also the number 33. So completion, the highest form of ascension. But it really is in our power to heal ourselves, and then to transpire the union. And with the sexual arts part, what I'm getting is that, really being in tune with your body and with your higher self, and what it is that you desire from this twin flame union, this twin flame connection. I'm getting to visualize and to feel the feelings and visualize the union, and really being clear about what it's supposed to look like from as above so below, so that it may transpire here below our root chakra, our sensuality and sexual energy, and to really tune ourselves into that, so that they may find it within themselves. As we think about it, as we share a soul, they are able to also look within and find their way to the divine feminine's heart by the inner healing. So is there any confirmation of the overall twin flame union or divine union that is transparent here below in this card just flipped? So, and the hangman just flew out. So the what I'm getting here with the hangman and the child both flying out is that they really need to focus on surrendering to the divine, which again, a lot of this theme has been they're trying to conceptualize the divine union, and the brain simply cannot do that. And also going back to their inner child and higher self and really understanding what the possibilities, dreams, hopes, and aspirations are for the divine masculine and how he can really do that with the divine feminine in his life as he surrenders his ego and these 3D things. His inner child, his higher self, and the divine union, and the inner child and higher self, and the divine of the divine masculine come to merge, and that's really where the endless possibilities of the divine energy that they can no longer conceptualize with their 3D brain, it really, that's where the power is it is with the inner child and the higher self, and overcoming all of those wounds that we need to release, that our inner children are holding on to. And that's really where the power is. The possibilities are endless here, and it's divine, and we need to really focus on surrendering ourselves and the divine masculine. Then also, I'm also getting surrender because this question was about timing. That is what I was thinking, is like, is your twin flame union timing that is coming? And so what I'm getting is that we need to surrender that too. We need to stop trying to put a timestamp or labels on union. But with that, I'm also getting the energy that it is coming soon. I'm getting the energy that we can make it happen as long as we focus on doing our work and inner healing and our inner work. We can make union happen. The timing is really up to us and how quickly we come into union with ourselves. And is there any final notes that the divine masculine wants to communicate to the divine feminine? Is there anything that he wants to say? And so here we got the Princess of Swords and the Queen of Cups. And so what I'm saying is he really wants to speak his truth and let his feminine, like the balancing of his divine feminine energy as he comes to balance to feminine and masculine energy, express his feelings towards her, and really be and really flow in with a connection and really speak his truth to her. But it's very difficult for him to speak his truth in the moment, because he is so stuck on even trying to conceptualize his own feelings and trying to put labels to his own feelings. And so, is there anything else that a divine masculine wants to say about his 3D challenges to for us to hold on to, or to communicate to us regarding the 3D connection here below? And so this card fell. So we got the priestess. So they, like I said, and I keep saying, they know we are their divine feminine. We are the high priestess energy. They understand that. They're clear about that. It's just I'm getting the energy of like they know we're there. They know they love us, just to give them time. And so with that being said, guys, I feel like that is pretty much, there's a lot of 911 energy too, and that's what I'm getting. They're very concerned with what that's going to look like. And as the high priestess here um, comes into her power, they're intimidated by her strength, and all the things that she's embodied. She's mastering her divine masculinity and femininity, coming to union with self, and it is a little intimidating for her, and it makes them want to run away. But they're being pulled towards the divine feminine enough to realize that this is what they want, and they're working their way through. And they're just, and this card is flawed, they're just in this moon energy, just trying to figure out the best way to do it and introspecting and such. So what I'm getting is to just give them time, but it's not a long time coming. I do feel like for a good chunk of the collective, that divine union is almost here. We just need to focus on self-healing, and the more self-healing we do, the more introspection they have and the more clarity they come to. So I'm getting. There's just one more thing. There's one more thing that divine masculine wants to communicate regarding his. His fun. Yeah, and so this is the third. I don't know. The third or fourth truth card that comes out. He wants to speak his truth. He can't even figure out how to begin to move in that direction. He knows the truth of the connection. He knows the truth of the unconditional love. He knows it's there. He doesn't know how to move in his 3D truth of what to make with it. And that is what he is looking within for. And that is where the introspection is coming from here with the angel of truth. How do we even communicate a truth that they cannot currently even comprehend or communicate, or let alone explain to their immediate family or loved ones? But they are coming to that clarity, guys. As and like I said, the more inner work we do, and the more I'm getting that we need to envision and really come clear, write out what our goals look like with and this union would look like with us. Even in our most lamest 3D terms, because the more we can focus on visualizing that and seeing that, the more they will come to clarity as to what that will look like, and the more they will be able to know how to move as they start to imagine and picture what this connection will look like to them. So, with that being said, guys, I hope this reading was helpful. Um, yeah, exactly. The law of attraction card just flew out. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of your energies. And to really focus on this law of attraction energy, be focused and attentive of what you want this to look like. And the more you envision what this will look like, this is ultimate confirmation. The more those visions will download into their head, and they will be able to move in that direction as you see the vision and you feel it. Hear, see it, feel it, um, and really be in tune with it from the mind written to the heart space. They will download into them too, and once they begin to see a more clear full picture from your perspective, they will be able to navigate and move in those directions. So do a lot of meditation and introspection of what you want this union to look like, and the more you focus on that ultimate outcome, the more it'll download into your head. So with that being said, guys, I'm just repeating myself. I hope this reading was helpful. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button, and I will really see you guys next time.